Alright, what's up guys, JR here. I was debating whether or not I wanted to use a stop or if I wanted to put a limit order in there. I think a limit order would have been slightly better, but I think we'll be okay with the stop. But it's Wednesday, March 1st, 2017, and this is going to be our trade for today. Basically, we have a failed second entry short. You get your first attempt to go lower right there, pull back, second attempt to go lower right here. And the main reason why I was debating on the with the limit order is because you get your actual failure once you tick one tick above this bearish bar. So the entry would have been 87.50, and instead we entered 2 ticks after that. So it makes a difference, but I think for this particular scenario we'll be okay. Our stop is a bit tighter than what it should be. Ideally it should be a tick or two beneath this swing low because that's where it's going to be the safest, but we're going to leave it where it is because with the support from the trend line and the EMA, I think that we should be okay. And this is our reversal pattern. Technically we've had a pretty strong trend up. Usually these things don't just topple over, so I'm thinking we should get a pretty nice bounce in a second, take back some of this correction and come on up and retest these highs. And yeah, hopefully we don't pull back before we do that, and hopefully I don't live to regret entering 2 ticks late. Basically should have been in at 87.50, instead I'm in at 88. But we'll see what happens. It's a failed second entry short right off the EMA and trend line, so hopefully this turns out to be a good trade. But in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and pause the video and we'll be right back. Alright, so we're moving up pretty nicely now. I'm thinking we're getting ready to get out on our first target, and our first target is going to be at 1 point, and then the second contract is coming off at 2 points. I could probably move this up and see how big of a runner I could get, but for time purposes and since this is a demo account, I don't particularly care about how big of a runner I get. All I care about is getting the scalp portion. But yeah, this is a failed second entry short. It's off of our trend line, off of our EMA, so I like that, the fact that we have good support right there. And I think as soon as we break a few ticks above this area, we should see a nice little pop. And then when we break above the highs for the day, we'll definitely see another pop. This is my second trade for the day. My first trade I entered right here. This is a second entry long. Basically the trend was really strong up, and then you get your first attempt to go higher right there, pull back, second attempt to go higher right there, right off the EMA. So I like taking that. At this point in time, I didn't have this big 2-tiered channel. Initially I drew something, I think I had something like this. It was like skinnier, and yeah, just like this, and then you get your other side right up top there. I had a break, first leg right there, and then I was expecting another leg up, so I went ahead and took that long, and it worked out pretty nicely. That was a good trade. You could have gotten about 4 points out of that, and we're still going higher. So then I readjusted, drew my trend line off these first 2 swings, and then just dragged it down to the bottom. It fit nicely, and then I noticed we bounced off of it pretty well right here, pulled back, tested it again, and we appear to be hugging it right now. So I think that this trend line is in fact valid, and it should hold. Excuse me, throat's a little bit dry this morning, but yeah, so I haven't taken a lot of trades. These are probably my least favorite kind of days. I'm not really a fan of these big strong trend days because they kind of scare me. I have gotten better at them, so I will say that they've become a bit easier. You just kind of have to know when to buy the pullbacks and when a pullback is most likely to fail. And I didn't attempt to buy this one. Some of you all may have attempted to buy this one, but if you had, that would have failed. And main thing I can say about that is it's a first entry essentially, because nothing breaks higher. So just kind of hang out, wait for the second entry, and you also have a short-term downtrend working down, so that may be something that would keep you out of it. And at that point I had this trend line, and I wasn't exactly eager to buy anything until we got back to it. And yeah, so pretty much I waited for the failed second entry. I either wanted to see a lower high or a failed second entry. The main reason why I didn't take this lower high is because we were still beneath the EMA, so I kind of left that one alone. And then when we got the failed second entry, I like taking that one. And the reason why I was saying I probably should have entered down here instead of up here is because if you notice, this bar ticks out the bottom of this bar, and then it turns and goes out the top all in the same bar. So usually that's a pretty good sign. And you want to take those sometimes because that pretty much means you have a fairly decent trap. But I figured since we were coming off the trend line and the EMA, I would be safe to the upside, and I think this is enough support to protect my stop down here. And we had more than enough room to get to the highs of the day, so I figured it was worth risking at that price level anyways, so I went ahead and took that instead of dropping a limit order in there. And if I had put a limit order in, I don't think it would have come back to fill me, actually. Let me just check that. 87.50. No, it would have come back and touched it, but I don't think it would have filled it. So yeah, it's probably best to just enter on a stop in this particular situation, unless you're really paying attention and you dropped your stop in there as soon as you saw it break out the bottom and then continue going a tad bit higher. So that would have been a good way to catch that, and I think you would have already been out of the trade. Yeah, you would have already been out of the trade by now. So just something to think about. I think I was still fiddling with like the mic and trying to check and make sure that the trade was actually going to set up, because I prefer to see a bar like this close instead of sometimes hopping in it when we break out of one side and then push out of the other side. I do take those trades sometimes, but it really kind of depends on the circumstance. This is a good situation to have done that, but I wasn't quite feeling it, and usually I gauge these trades off of how much I'm feeling it, and that's what kind of works for me. You have to figure out what works for you, but yeah, I didn't like just hopping in that in the moment. Looking at it after the fact, good idea, but in the moment I wasn't quite feeling it. But yeah, so this is taking a little bit of time, and someone asked me a question. Excuse my broken chair. It's an old chair from my office in the basement. Really comfortable though. It's probably from the 90s. It's broken and it reclines back quite nicely, so that's the main reason why I use it, because I find it to be quite comfortable. It still works. It's not uncomfortable at all, so I like being able to kick back and relax. But I'm going to go ahead and pause this until we get some form of a pullback. So we'll be right back. Alright, so I think we're going to get this this first order filled right about now, but I'm going to go ahead and respond to a quick question. Somebody asked me which broker I'm using for my sim trading. I actually don't use a broker for sim trading. All I do is I go to the NinjaTrader website and I just sign up for demo accounts as basically continuously. So each time one of them expires, I just sign up for another one. And some of you all are probably wondering, how do I do this? Because after you sign up a certain amount of times, they say you get a message from CQG saying that your demo allowance has been exceeded. And pretty much what I do is I just make emails. I have a bunch of emails. I store them in the notes on my phone each time, and they're pretty much good. I think you can use each email twice. So after I burn out one email, I just make another email, and I continue signing up for demo accounts. And I've been doing this for as long as I've been trading, and it's worked out nicely. Although one thing that I did notice is that when I would sign up for my computer, I started to get like the message saying that my demo allowance had been exceeded, and it would be a brand new email. So I noticed that they're probably clocking my IP, so I no longer sign up from I make the email from my computer, but I sign up for the actual demo from my phone, because I don't really know if they can clock the IP on that, and I haven't been blocked since I started using my phone. So just a little helpful hint if you guys are still sim trading and they're giving you a hard time about your demos. So make emails, use your phone. Alright, so we got that first contract filled, but I want to see that fifth tick. I'm pretty sure that once we break a few ticks above that, we're just going to pop, and then we should definitely get that runner pretty easily as well. But I'm going to go ahead and mark this trade right now. And hopefully you guys have had a decent trading week. I haven't lost, but I haven't taken as many trades as I would have liked to have taken. Yesterday I literally didn't take a single trade. Two setups that I did see, I would scroll back and show you this right now, but I don't want to miss this. But I saw 2 or 3 setups. Alright, so we got that fifth tick, so now we're just going to see if we can get the 2 points on the runner. But I saw, I think, about 2 or 3 setups yesterday. Yeah, you see we got that runner pretty quickly, so that was an easy trade. So 2-0 for the day. I'll see if I can get one more, but pretty much I reached my goal already, and I've been trading for, I think that's an hour and 39 minutes, so not bad. But what was I going to say? Yeah, I didn't take a single trade yesterday. Monday I got my 2 wins. Yesterday I didn't take a single trade. Main reason is my signal bars were, oh yeah, I can show you guys now. Let me see this. Where is it? What day was it? 2/27. Yeah, that's it. This thing is loading up. So was this yesterday? What day? No, friggin' what am I talking about? Jeez. My PC is going slow because I have so much running right now. I'm on Skype and I'm screen sharing, so that slows it down a bit. But I saw this trade. My signal bar was bad. Didn't really like that. But yeah, man. My bad, I'm reading a text message at the same time. But I saw this trade. My signal bar was bad. Couldn't take that. Saw this trade. Signal bar was less than ideal, and we were underneath the EMA. Didn't take that. Didn't take that because if you were looking at that from the hard right of the screen, that just didn't look like a good trade, and I was expecting to come up top here at that point. Saw this trade, basically there was nothing that I really liked taking, so I didn't take a single trade yesterday, but I saw this one, knew that this one was going to work. I just didn't like shorting it into the EMA. Saw this one, but I wasn't sure if we were going to go higher or lower at that point. I didn't know if this was going to turn out to be a trap. And then at this point, this was at, I think, about 3 something in the afternoon, so I didn't take that. But coming off that resistance, that would have been a nice short, but I left it alone. So not too many trades the past couple days. And then on Monday, I took this short, this long, and then I would have taken this long. It's just that I had a dentist appointment, and by the time I got out of the shower, I saw this before I was getting ready to get in the shower, and then by the time I got out, we were already up here, so I missed that one. But yeah, good trading day. Not really. I don't know why I just said that, but yeah, so pretty decent trading day today, actually. And hopefully we can get a couple more, but I'm not going to. Oh, yeah, there was one more thing that I wanted to respond to. Let me open up my laptop. So pretty much I had somebody ask me, yada, yada, yada. Basically, they said that they want to see me do explanations for second entries and failed second entries on a static chart going by bar by bar, and I'll think about it. I'm not going to say that I will do that because I feel like that would be a little bit time consuming. I understand that would be pretty beneficial, and a lot of people would probably like to see that, but I will think about it. I may do that once or twice, but as of now, I kind of really like doing the live trade videos because they're simple. I can just load up I can just pull up my recording software and just verbally explain my reasons for taking a trade, and it's easy. And I think the main reason why this person wanted me to do that is because you control your time, and basically it can help you guys learn how I see my trades develop. And pretty much, let me tell you guys a little secret about the way how I trade. Pretty much, I pay attention to this chart, but I don't really pay that much attention to it. The only time I'm really paying attention to the chart is when I'm expecting a trade to happen. So what I do essentially is I predetermine in my mind what it is that I'm looking for and where it is that I would like to see it. So when I first came in, we were moving up higher. So I said, all right, this is a strong uptrend. I'm not taking anything unless it's a second entry long. The first second entry long that occurred after 9:30 was this one right here. So I was looking at my screen, halfway paying attention, and then when I saw, okay, we might get a second entry long right here, that's when I'm completely focused, and that's when all right, I'm locked in on the chart, I'm going to trade. So we got the second entry long, boom, I took it. After that, we traded up higher, we started correcting. I said, okay, I'm not going to take a trade unless it's a failed second entry short and coming off of my trend line. At that point, we get the failed second entry short, that's what I take. Basically, what I do is I identify in my mind what it is that I want to see and where I would like to see it before it occurs, and I just kind of block everything else out except for what it is that I'm looking for. So that's a good way to not get distracted by some of the noise that's occurring on the chart. Some of you all may have gotten trapped right here. Mine didn't tick higher, but it may have ticked higher on yours. And if you tell yourself what it is that you're looking for in advance and you don't take anything else, then you're most likely going to have a whole lot more winners. So that's pretty much the way how I develop my trades. I kind of know exactly what it is that I'm looking for before I even take the trade, and I don't take a trade unless I see exactly what it is that I'm looking for. And if I see something similar to it that isn't really satisfactory to me, usually I'll watch that, and sometimes it'll turn into a trap, and then I'll take it in the opposite direction, because To be honest, I don't really think about what this market is going to do long term. I just kind of gauge where it's most likely going based off the current price action, and then I determine what it is that I would like to see, and then I trade in that direction when I see what it is that I want to see. And if things don't go exactly how I have them planned, then I'll watch that setup, and usually I'll end up catching a trap. But other than that, that's pretty much the only way that I really have my trades develop. I don't watch this thing bar by bar and focus on it intensely. Honestly, I surf the web on my laptop while I'm trading, and usually I'm pretty relaxed while I'm trading. I wait for the setup that I want to see, and then I take it, and that's what works for me. Some of you all may be different, but that's pretty much what I do. I just kind of chill. I tell myself what I want to see, then when I see what it is that I want to see, I take the trade. So that's pretty much it. This video has gone on for quite a bit of time. I'll try to make one more this week. No guarantees though, because I don't know what the market is going to look like. I tried to make a video yesterday, but obviously I didn't take any trades. I had it set in my mind that I wanted to make a video, but I didn't take any trades, so there was nothing to upload. But that's it for now. This is JR. Thank you guys for your suggestions. You can expect that Q&A sometime this month. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And for the bar by bar thing, I'll think about it. I will think about it, and I'll let you guys know whether or not. I probably won't even let you know. You'll probably just see a video of it one day, or you may not see a video of it one day. It's a great suggestion. Don't get me wrong. It's a great idea, great suggestion. I just don't know if I necessarily feel like putting in the time to do that, because the way that I trade is I really don't analyze this thing bar by bar. Pretty much I just look at how we respond to the EMA, what my trend lines are telling me, and then I enter at the key entry points being support and resistance, trend lines, etc. And I wait for a specific setup to occur at them, and then other than that, I'm not trading. But that's it. Don't want to drag this out any longer. This is JR. Let me just go over the trade one more time. It's a failed second entry short coming right off of our trend line and our EMA. Pretty nice signal bar. I got the scalp portion and the runner, so that was great. And yeah, if you had runners in here, I think you still would have been alright. It doesn't look like it would have come back to get you, so you can probably see how much you could get out of this, because I entered at 88 flat, and we went all the way up to 91.25, so that's 3 1/4 points. You could probably get some more out of this, but alright, I've already said too much, talked for too long. I'll see you guys, if not tomorrow or Friday, I'll see you sometime next week. Thank you, take care. Yeah, I'll see you later.